Hi, and welcome to Robocon Help India Basics of Robotics Level 3. Till now we have gone through Level 1 and Level 2 where we have discussed about basics of robots, and then we continued our discussion on how to make wheeled robots. This time we'll continue our discussion further on locomotion and we'll talk about legged motion. Uh, the process of displacement from one starting point and getting over to the destination point is locomotion, which we have already discussed in our previous slides. We'll continue over it. Before we move ahead, uh, we wish to tell our audience that what you should expect from this current presentation is that to know what exactly one should know about legged motion as somebody begins as a novice in this domain, because the kind of research which has been going around the globe in legged robotics, uh, it's mind-blowing and amazing, and it will not be good uh, to teach or to discuss about this thing in short 5 or 10 minutes. It will be better if it's discussed in a 1 or 2 days or 3 days long workshop where one uh, invites and lecture on the same. Um, in legged motion, there are different kind of ways a, a robot can walk. There are different kind of robots in legged motion. One is biped robot. You have tripedal robots, you have quadrupedal, then you have hexapods, and they have legs of robots keeps on increasing, and you get more and more legs of, which you have to coordinate to make a robot. So we'll take one by one these robots and we'll discuss and we'll see what challenges one has to face while building these. So let's talk about bipedal robots. There are different kind of walking styles in humans, because bipedal robots or humanoid robots are the ones which are inspired by human structure by itself, and it's highly important to understand how a normal human being walks or behaves while walking. The different ways of walking normal human shows when such phenomena is shown. There's one of the pictures which is shown over here is shown by normal soldiers, a very strict and disciplined walk. There are other ways when children are running, or a fun and a very relaxed kind of walk, or that this over here, it shows a normal walking of a woman, a female, and both the men and women walking styles are completely different. There are also other walking styles in quadruped animals like dogs, cows, cats, horses, and there are so many animals around us. Even if you go deeper into the evolution process, then you'll find so many animals like the small insects, cockroaches, even and animals, insects having more than 8 legs. They have a different kind of walking style. Also, if we look closer into the human side, there are times when some people are handicapped, and if there are few limbs which are not working, so the human body adopts themselves to that kind of structure, and they use the limbs which are working and they do walking or they do locomotion. Such kind of things are a challenge when somebody goes into building a legged robot. There are different cases of walking which happens in our daily life. You have rock climbing, and you are coming down from a rock mountain, or you're running up a stairs, or climbing downstairs, or you're running just like this girl is running very freely on flat ground. Similarly, if you have an unstructured ground, the same kind of running would have been changed. A normal walking style in an office-going environment, when you have skating, you have jumping, so many activities are being going around. Sometimes in athletes have to go through running, so there's a center of mass which generally is available, not available, it's lying right above the torso, below the torso, above your pelvis area. Everybody in normal human beings, it's available there. So Um, when different kind of walking, jumping, running, or different activities are performed, so the center of gravity is the one which actually is moving around with the human body. And there's a very basic concept which is associated with it. But before we discuss that, let's see a few examples of the existing humanoid robots which have been developed, and they are quite doing successfully. Uh, Till now, there are so many humanoid robots, and if you just go and type humanoid robots on Google, and you'll find a huge list of images and pictures showing various kinds of robots. We're just listing few, just like Simo from Honda Motor Company is the most famous one, and they have spent more than a decade in building this uh, wonderful technology. There's a very famous competition which is coming up, and it's many students around the globe participate in it. That is called RoboCup, and this picture was taken in June 30, 2009 by Boston. This is image source from Boston.com, and the basic theme of this RoboCup is that by 2050, uh, a team of humanoid robots will compete the best world champions in soccer, and they must defeat that team. So with that aim, every year so many robot enthusiasts come up and show their robot, and they show their skills how their robots are playing soccer. There are other examples as well. This is a cybernetic human HRP4C, uh, developed to look like a normal Japanese woman, and there are so many applications which have been developed now recently with a recent uprising of in research, and so many things have been doing in humanoid robots. So when somebody wishes to get into this detail and how to build a humanoid robot, there are a few concepts which one should know before getting into it. The most important concept is called zero moment point. It is basically a concept related to dynamics and control of legged motion, especially in humanoid robots. It specifies the point with respect to which the dynamic reaction force at the contact of the foot with the ground does not produce any movement in horizontal direction. That horizontal direction is the force um, uh, which is acting in the direction where the robot is walking or moving. So that is the point where the total vertical and gravity forces should be equal to zero. And I'll show you with an example. Suppose there's a robot, and there's ground reaction forces, and which goes in the upward direction, and similarly when there is acceleration and deceleration, there is gravity forces. So certain amount of inertia forces act on the human body, yes, and they have some reaction force. So this resultant inertial force and this resultant reaction force, if they fall in the same line, I'm sorry this diagram goes little misaligned, but if they fall in the same line, something like this, so there's zero moment on the human body. Similarly, if this is happening in the robot, so there's zero moment on the robot, and the robot does not falls in the front or topples in the sides. Now there are different cases. Suppose the robot is walking in an unstructured environment, and the foot falls on a stone where only the front part of the foot, the toe touches a stone, and the reaction forces changes direction. And then in that case, they they will have, if I draw another case, then they will have some distance between the reaction force and the resultant inertial force. This this gap will be the reaction force. If I show with a different ink, this gap will be the um, this inertial force and resultant force gap, and this will cause the robot to topple. There are different cases apart from this where the robot tries to overstep than its normal stride or the size of the torso. So all these cases are there where the control algorithm has to be very strong, and one should understand the basic dynamics of a normal human body, and then that has to be controlled by a good control algorithm and then applied in a humanoid robot. This is just one aspect which one must know while designing a humanoid robot or a legged robot. There are other examples also, like a normal tripedal robot. Like this tripedal robot is being developed by at Romela lab, which is at Virginia Tech, under the guidance of Professor Dennis Hong. And this has a very unique style of walking. Go on Google and just type Romela, and you'll find a very nice video relating to it. Sony has made this robot called Aibo, which is resembling a dog. And there are different kinds of gaits and walking styles. Gaits means different various walking styles which vary with respect to various different quadruped animals, just like dog, cat, horse. All these walking styles are generally controlled by good control algorithm. So basically what happens is the normal robot which has been walking, maybe any kind of robot, maybe a bipedal robot or quadruped or hexapod. Just like this hexapod is from Trosson Robotics and Intel Robotics Laboratory. This robot is called Phantom X. And so what happens is the normal walking and the control of basic limbs of the robot is done by normal computer programming, but the calculations of this movement are very important in further cases as well, in case of these robots. So if we concise down what one should know before getting into legged robotics, one should know the basics of walking gaits, what kind of walking style are with respect to different walking animals. And it depends on generally upon the number of legs, 6 legs, 4 legs, 3 legs, 2 legs, 1 leg, or more than that. Also the speed of walking. Just like a Simo walks at almost a good speed, and comparable to human walking speed. And if we are requiring a certain amount of walking speed, then what kind of actuators? Obviously, yes, the kinematics and dynamics are the most important aspects which one must know regarding legged robotics. And obviously the zero movement point calculations. And after you have been able to figure out all these calculations, then the important aspect is how to design the control algorithm, then assembling and testing, and much more knowledge is required than in this field, like basic understanding of human structure or animal structure, and a lot of insight is required, which is available only to after a good amount of research. Uh, so this brings us to the end of basic robotics level 3. So here we have learned basically about what one should know before getting into legged robotics. And if you wish to learn more about this, you can obviously call Robocon Help India for a lecture in your. Thank you. Look forward to learn more in level 4.